Anna and I'm a Senior Project Officer currently based at the CA Milton Keynes office. And I'm here today to tell you a little bit about a small excavation that the CA site team carried out in 2018 in a field on the western edge of Hanslope, just outside of Milton Keynes, so not too far from our office. The settlement of Hanslope is first recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086, and whilst its origins remain slightly obscure, it's likely to have originated in the Anglo-Saxon period. Domesday Book records Hanslope as a very large settlement of approximately 55 households, although notably that doesn't just include the core settlement of Hanslope itself, but also several smaller satellite hamlets in the surrounding area, including one by the name of Green End, which was located once upon a time just to the west of where our excavation area was. Previous metal detecting within the site revealed a range of artefacts, and trial trenching in 2017, also carried out by the CA site team, identified remains including midden deposits and a possible trackway, so naturally we were keen to get back and find out more. The earliest feature on site was an early Roman ditch which broadly followed the line of a paleo-channel, which just means a large, now filled up, former stream or watercourse of some kind. While we did find some sherds of generic Roman pottery within the fills of this ditch, the more interesting find was actually the assemblage of cattle bones. One of the bones was selected for radiocarbon dating and successfully returned a date of between 75 and 225 AD, putting the ditch firmly within the early Roman period. The team also excavated and recorded a number of other pre-Norman conquest features, mostly enclosure and field boundary system, which didn't contain too many finds. What we did find was that the majority of the activity within the site appeared to have taken place between the 11th and 14th centuries, firmly within the medieval period, during the time when the Green End settlement was active, with the middens and enclosures shown in green and blue on the plan, marking the edge of the core settlement area, so our excavation area was just outside the actual settlement. The features contained a variety of pottery fragments, fired clay, as well as metal artefacts, animal bone, and charred plant remains and charcoal. During the later phases, particularly the 13th and 14th centuries, several new major boundary ditches were cropping up across the site, as well as some pit clusters, which hint that there might possibly have been some reorganisation of the space or just a different way it was used within the site. The features contained large amounts of pottery, mainly from the relatively local Olney hide type, including a nice example of a large jug handle with stab decorations, which possibly might have extended across the rest of the vessel as well. Horseshoe nails, an iron buckle fragment, and other metal finds further help paint the picture of people living and working in very close proximity and dropping, losing, or actively discarding things as they go along. During the post-excavation process, the CA environmental team also found evidence of food preparation waste in the soil samples that we brought back from site, further painting the picture of people living very close by, because nobody really wants to get out of their kitchen with a load of rubbish and walk for miles before getting rid of it. My favourite find from the site, though, is a spindle whirl, which appears to have been fashioned from a reused pottery fragment by drilling a hole into the middle of it and then rounding the edges of the sherd, which is really just a very early form of recycling if you think about it. By the end of the 14th century, however, it did appear that the various enclosures and boundary ditches within the site had either been actively backfilled or fallen into disuse and disrepair, suggesting that activity within the wider area was also scaled back. Now, this coincides with a time of more widespread settlement shrinkage and abandonment across large parts of the country, genuinely believed to be due to the onset of the Black Death in the mid-14th century, which wiped out large parts of the population. Other notable examples of shrunken or deserted villages across Buckinghamshire include Tatternoe at the southern end of Milton Keynes, and also the abandoned medieval settlement at Dodder Shawl, located approximately halfway between Bicester and Aylesbury. And incidentally, the CA site team also excavated a Dodder Shawl recently as part of the ongoing archaeological works relating to HS2. If you'd like to find more about Dodder Shawl and the works that we carried out there, you're in luck. There's a whole separate webinar already available on YouTube for you to look at your leisure.